Right, first of all, we'll welcome aboard Bob. Bob, welcome aboard, buddy.
Well, thank you, Glenn. And tonight I think we ought to let Carol Fowler know that we did bring 4 of the cheerleaders down and help them out in that way. There are several Princeton fans down here tonight. The roads are not too treacherous. If you have someone down here watching the ball game, the roads are in pretty good shape.
We found them to be dry.
Right. The only bad spot's coming into the high school once we leave the main road. Other than that, they're in excellent shape.
And sitting in all on the far side tonight, we got Charlie. Charlie, welcome aboard. And I understand you got a message that you better deliver.
Yeah, I want to say hi to the list.
Okay. Understand if you don't, your head is skinned.
Yeah, that's right.
And you don't get anything to eat for the next 2 weeks.
That's right.
But Charlie sitting in to lend us a hand tonight. And of course, talking about the ball game we got coming up tonight, the Spartans, a very tough, a very senior-laden ball club, and we can see it coming for the last couple of years. They're very big, very strong, very muscular, and they can give everybody trouble.
Well, they're about the biggest team that I've seen. Doug Beard is maybe 6'5", 6'6", and he is a very stocky individual. He played a very tough game against Princeton. He was a starter for them last year. Looking at the statistics on the Greenbrier East Spartans, of course, they're 10 wins and no losses at this point. The teams that we would be familiar with, they defeated Beckley 68-59. They defeated Greenbrier West. They've defeated Bluefield, at Bluefield. And Oak Hill, they've defeated 82-77. The statistics on the individual players for Greenbrier East, Doug Beard, the 6'6", senior center, is averaging 15.4 points a game. David Darrell is averaging 11.5 a game. Jake Gillespie is averaging 8.2 a game. Frankie Johnson, who will start for them, is averaging 9 points a game. And then they have several people who are averaging, it looks like they've got maybe 10 or 12 people who are averaging some number of points a game. Or averaging less than 5 points, but they're averaging.
But they're a pretty offensive-minded team, though, Bob, aren't they, overall?
Well, they're averaging 70 points a game. They're giving up 54.7, which compares with Princeton averaging 73 points a game, almost 73 points a game, and giving up 58.2. So they're very comparative in their averages on the season. In terms of field goal percentages, they're hitting 45% of their field goals, 70% of their free throws, 70.7%, and they're averaging 35 rebounds per game while giving up 29.5 rebounds a game, which means that they are dominating the boards pretty well. But on the minus side, they're averaging 21 turnovers a game, but their opponents are averaging 22 turnovers a game, so it's sort of
they play a lot of pressure defense. We'll look for some pressing, some double teaming, some scrapping, putting pressure on the ball.
Now, for Princeton, with this much size, you'd have to question their quickness, and that's something we'll be able to tell a little more about in the first quarter.
Right, we want to talk about the Princeton season average and so forth, but first of all, let's take 30 seconds and break for this commercial message. And despite the bad weather outside, we've got a good crowd here in the gymnasium tonight for the game between the Spartans and the Tigers, and we're looking for a good game. And Bob, you had some Tiger stats you were going to share with us.
Well, for the Princeton team, Jimmy Miller still leads in scoring. He had 19 points last game, and he scored 224 points on the season for a 22.4 average. Jeff St. Clair has scored 77 points on the season. He has a 7.7 scoring average. Mike Eads has scored 146 points on the season. He has a 14.6 scoring average. Bill Harmon has scored 67 points. He's averaging 6.7 points per game. And I think in Bill Harmon's case, you have to stress that he has provided a good bit of senior leadership and has been very helpful with Princeton team. Stephon Murray, or Murray Stephon, if you read the Bluefield paper, has scored 40 points for even 4 points a game average. James DeWitt, the sophomore, has scored 127 points for 12.7 points per game. And Hansparger, who has not played in the last 3 games, is still averaging 3.3 points a game.
John's been fighting a pretty heavy case of cold or flu or whatever.
Right. And the statistics were real easy to do because Princeton's 7-3 on the season. And since this is the 10th game of the season, it was very easy to come up with the averages.
Sounds like a liberal speaking to me. Now, Bob, we got a mention one thing. Next Tuesday night, we meet a team that we've seen again for the first time this year. That's Mountain View. We're going to do it at Mountain View since the first game had been called off because of snow and been rescheduled something like the 20th. Mountain View is a very tough, a very big, very physical team. They have a lot of similar characteristics to this Greenbrier East team we're seeing here tonight.
Well, they will have. They've got the younger boy in underneath that's just huge. They have several other people who are very big players. And, of course, they've got Maurice Bradley, who's an excellent ball player for them. And I think provides a lot of their scoring on the season. We had one message that we were requested to mention tonight, and that's to say hello to Joe Thorne, who's the uncle of Mike East, who's playing for Princeton out there tonight, and to all of the people in Giles, Virginia, who are listening to this ball game.
Mike does have some roots down in Giles County, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
That's what I thought.
As a matter of fact, I believe he played 1.5 years, or went to Giles schools 1.5 years, junior high school.
The Tigers coming in after the big win off Norfolk last week. Of course, the Tigers right now have had, I guess, what we consider 3 real good games, 3 big games, where they've beaten Bluefield, Beckley, and Norfolk back-to-back. And that's no mean feat, and we're very proud of that fact. And I think that the Tigers feel now that they can get their own momentum going and they can really make a run at something. And I think these people in the state are looking at it. They've moved them up to 8th place in the state rating.
I think you're right. I know early in the season, several people from Princeton seemed to indicate that they thought it would be a long year for this Princeton team. And I felt like all along that if Princeton was going to have a good season, that they may be early in the season, they may be susceptible to some mistakes. But it looks like they have improved, and they're playing excellent basketball right now. They do have a good chance.
Well, not only the fact rating a good season on the basis of a one-loss record. Now, of course, it's more fun to win than it is to lose. But you enjoy ball games if they're competitive. I would rather see a very competitive ball game and see my own team win one by 50 points just as a sake of enjoyment. And the Tigers right now are a competitive ball club. They're a scrapping ball club. They're quick. They're willing to run. They're willing to play the defense. They're willing to hit the boards. And they're becoming more physical every time out.
Well, that's very true. One of the things I heard them early in the season that say Huntington was the fact that Huntington played them very physical. Huntington has a good ball team, and that perhaps was the most uncompetitive game of the season. When they lost to Oak Hill, it was a very competitive game, and their loss to Beckley was a very competitive game. They saw Princeton leading most of the game and wound up losing by 55 to 51, I believe.
Okay, now we're going to be back with basketball first. Let's take time out for this. As they've already introduced the Tigers, now they're introducing the Spartans. For the Tigers, we'll have Eads and St. Clair in the backcourt, have DeWitt and Harmon on the wing position, and Jimmy Miller at the pivot. And for the Spartans, we'll look for Frankie Johnson, Pete Bugis, David Darnell, C.C. Wesley, and Doug Beard as the starters. And Doug Beard just now being introduced, and he is a horse.
They've got him listed at 6'6", 215 pounds, but I would hazard a guess that he weighs a little more than 215 pounds.
I would think so. As the Spartans, some of those kids, they look like pretty good athletes. They may not be as slow as we were hoping they were. As the officials now on the floor, and now we're waiting for the Tigers and the Spartans. The Tigers break the huddle. They move out to center court. And here come the Spartans away from their coach as soon as Paul Greer lets them go. As waiting on the Spartans, yes, and the Tigers out around the center circle. Now here come the Spartans. What's Jimmy weigh? Jimmy Miller?
I would guess around 170, 175 pounds.
They have him listed 175. Now, Beard outweighs him at least 50, maybe 75 pounds. And it'll be Beard to jump against Miller as Beard is in. Now Miller is in. The official looking at the time clock, moves in, puts the toss in the air, tip control over the Tigers. Eads comes out with it, drives, goes down, lays it on the glass, good. Eads puts the Tigers up 2-0. And Greenbrier will come to the attack now as Bugis brings it to the front court. Tigers in a zone defense as Bugis out at the point position, directing traffic. He wants them situated differently. He moves them to the other side, gives it to Frankie Johnson on the wing. In the corner with it to Darnell. Darnell outside to Bugis, firing on the top of the key. Good. Bugis ties it up. 2-all now with 7:35 to play in the first quarter. And Greenbrier East is pressing as the Tigers get it to the front court. Miller with the ball to Eads. To St. Clair, he's on the point position. And now Greenbrier East into a zone defense. And that looks like a 3-2 zone, or 1-2-2 it is really, as Jimmy Miller now with the ball on the wing to St. Clair to Eads on the right side. Mike looks underneath, gives it back to St. Clair, fires from 20 feet, good. 4-2, Tigers up. As Bugus works it to the front court for Greenbrier. Goes to the top of the key, to the left side with it to Johnson. They move it to the far side to Darnell, gives it back outside to Bugus, to Johnson. Johnson looks at the bucket, gives it inside the corner to Darnell, fires from 20 feet off the iron, no good to Witt, rebounds for the Tigers. As the Witt gets it out to Miller, hands it back to St. Clair, Jeff brings it to the front court for the Tigers. As St. Clair moves it to the left side to DeWitt. DeWitt gives it back outside to St. Clair, firing from 21 feet off the iron, no good, is tipped out by the Spartans, picked up by Eads as the Tigers control. And Beard just overpowered Miller on that tip. Miller's going up the tip, and Beard just very strong. As DeWitt with the ball for Princeton now. To St. Clair, top of the key, to Harmon, right side, drives to the baseline, fires, off the iron, no good. Eads rebounds, puts it back up off the glass, no good. Rebound pulled down by Beard to the Spartans. Waits for traffic to clear. And he gets it out to Johnson. Johnson to Bugus, and they take it to the front court. To the left side, to Wesley. Back to Bugus. Bugus, top of the key with it. He'll fire from 20 feet off the side iron, no good. Rebound slapped around, goes to the floor, picked up in the corner by Johnson of the Spartans. Outside to Bugus. So Johnson fakes the shot, doesn't take it, gives it to Darnell, firing out of the corner. He's got that one. David Darnell ties it up at 4 with 5:50 to play. He's into the front court with it for Princeton. Goes down, fires off the glass, no good. Rebound pulled down by Darnell of Greenbrier. Out to Bugus as the Spartans come roaring into the front court. Top of the key with it. Bugus holds it overhead, looks underneath. To the right side with it to Johnson. To Darnell in the corner, back to Johnson, fakes the shot. Dribbles once, now fires off the glass, no good to Witt, rebounds for the Tigers. Out to Eads as Mike brings it to the front court. Under a full head of steam, holds it up, looks frail. To St. Clair. St. Clair right back to Eads with it. Looking underneath, looking for Miller on the low post. Can't get him open. They go to the far side to Harmon. Harmon on the wing now, trying to get it underneath. Has it kicked loose, picked up by the Spartans. Coming out with it is Bugus. Bugus into the front court with it. To the left side to Wesley. Wesley gives it right back to Bugus, and Bugus will set it up as they spread it out wide. To Frankie Johnson, to Darnell, to Johnson. They're on the right side. Now across the top of the key to Wesley. To Bugus, right at the top of the key. He backs it way out front down. They start it to Wesley on the left side. Back to Bugus, back to Wesley. He'll fire from 25 feet. It's off the iron, no good. We got a whistle and a foul. It looks like Darnell over the back to one of the Tigers. That's number 1 on Darnell. Team foul number 1 on the Spartans. And it'll be Tiger ball, and the Spartans will press as the inbounds pass comes into St. Clair. They double team him in the backcourt. It's knocked loose. It'll be Tiger ball. One of the Spartans kicked the ball as he deflected the pass. Some of the fans disagree with the call, but it's already called, so I guess that's the way it goes. As the Witt inbounds at this time to Eads. Mike racing into the front court behind the back dribble. Starts it into the lane, trying to get it to Harmon. Harmon recovers. Drops it to the Witt. It's kicked loose. Picked up by the Spartans. They get it out to Darnell. Darnell into the front court. Works on St. Clair. Goes around and puts it up good. David Darnell puts the Spartans on top. 6-4 for the first time tonight. As St. Clair working against the press. Gets it to the front court for the Tigers. To the Witt. Drives. Lays it up. Got it. As the Tigers come back with their own fast break. We got a 6-6 ball game now. Bugus takes it to the front court for Greenbrier. Top of the key with it. To the right side to Frankie Johnson. Johnson gets it back outside to Bugus, to the left side to Darnell, back to Bugus, top of the key, firing off the left side of the iron, no good. Beard rebounds underneath, puts it back up and in. Doug Beard puts the Spartans on top 8-6 on the end court pass, knocked loose, picked up by Eads, tied up by Beard, and we'll have a jump ball between Mike Eads of the Tigers and Doug Beard of the Spartans. Mike Eads about 5'10", Doug Beard about 6'6", as they move into the center circle. And the tip is controlled by the Spartans. Frankie Johnson moves it to the front court for Greenbrier. To Pete Bugus. Bugus goes to the top of the key. Starts it to the lane. To the left side of Darnell, firing off the iron, no good. Rebound pulled down to Darnell, puts it up in the lane, off the iron again. We got a whistle and a foul. That should be on Wesley over Brill Harmon's back. And I believe it is West. I couldn't read the official signal.
It's going to be very difficult from the angle we've got to see the official with his fingers pointing toward the scoreboard.
We get Stephon Murray into the ballgame for the Tigers now as the Spartans pressing. St. Clair with the ball for the Tigers. Works his way to the front court on the dribble. Comes to the lane with it. Holds it up. We got a traveling call. As he could not get the brakes on, it looked like his sneaker slipped. But it was traveling either way it goes. So now Bugus will take it to the front court for Greenbrier East. Takes it right to the point position to the left side to Darnell. Back to Bugus. He's on top of the key with it. He'll fire now from 18 feet. Good. 10-6. Tigers trail by 4 with 3:20 to play in the first quarter. Aziz comes to the front court on a good dribble maneuver. Comes down, fires. Good. Aziz hits it from 12 feet. 10-8 with 3:13 to play in the first quarter. Bugus takes it right back for Greenbrier East, and St. Clair's got the ball loose, and it's a race between Bugus and St. Clair, and it's knocked loose. It's St. Clair with it, puts it up on the glass. Got it. 10-10. We've got a tie ball game now. As Bugus will move it to the front court for the Spartans again. To the left side to Darnell. They go to Beard on the low post. Fires over Miller. Good. As Beard works it down deep and puts it up and in. 12-10. Tigers trail by 2. As Eads double team in the backcourt on the press. They get it to Miller. Miller still in the backcourt looking for help. Gives it to St. Clair. Jeff moves it to the front court on the run. Holds it up as they set the offense now. To the right side to DeWitt. DeWitt moves toward the corner. Gives it back outside to St. Clair, top of the key. They move to the left side to Eads. Back to St. Clair. To DeWitt on the wing left side. To St. Clair. Firing from 21 feet off the iron. No good. Rebound. Pulled down by Frankie Johnson of the Spartans. He gets it out to Bugus. And Pete puts it on the floor. Moves it to the front court for Greenbrier East. We've got 2:12 to play in the first quarter. We got a 12-10 ball game. Tigers trail by 2. Johnson firing from the left side for Greenbrier. Rebound pulled down by Eads. He is fouled by Johnson. And that's number 1 on Johnson. Team foul number 3 on the Spartans. With 2:04 left to play in the first quarter. The Tigers coming to the offense now. St. Clair to the front court with it. Still on a dribble. To the right side to Eads on the wing. Looks at the bucket now. Holds it up. Looks for help outside. To St. Clair to Miller on the high post. Works. Fires. Good. Put it up over top of Doug Beard and got it. 12-12 with 1:50 to play in the first quarter. As Pete Bugus moves it to the front court against the Tiger zone. Top of the key to the left side to Johnson. Johnson back outside to Bugus. Bugus holds in the lane, gives it to Darnell, goes to the right side, fires off the glass, got it. Darnell, hits it, David Darnell puts the Spartans up by 2, 14-12. As James DeWitt comes to the front court with it for Princeton. To Eads on the right side, to Miller, firing off the high post, comes up short, rebound comes down, we got a whistle and a foul on Stephon Murray underneath. We were in position to see that one, Bob.
We're in a position to see anything goes on this end of the court because we're sitting right underneath the goal almost.
Okay, Greenbrier East comes back to the offense now. Bugus dribbling with the ball. They lead the Tigers by 2, 14-12. Johnson firing from way outside. Rebound ripped away by Miller in heavy traffic. Gets it outside to St. Clair. St. Clair comes to the front court on a 3-on-2 fast break. Now they hold it up as Murray with the ball. They double team. Gets it to Miller in the lane. Goes under. Lays it up. No good. Puts it up again. No good. Rebound slapped outside. Picked up by the Spartans. As Bugus will take it to the front court now. To Johnson on the left side. Frankie looks at the bucket. Gives the cross court to Darnell. He'll fire from 12 feet. No good. Put up again by Johnson. Frankie Johnson puts the Spartans up by 4 with 42 seconds to play in the first quarter. 16-12. Tigers trailing. St. Clair brings it to the front court. To the left side of the DeWitt. Firing from 20 feet. On the iron. No good. Rebound pulled down by the Spartans. And Beard and Miller elbowing a little bit right here in front of us. As the outlet pass to Bugus into the front court for the Spartans. To the left side to Johnson. Drives the baseline. Tries to get it back in. The pass is knocked out of bounds by the Tigers. Coming in for the Spartans is Scotty Dolan. Dolan coming in.
So far, I believe Princeton's zone's been a little more effective. Princeton has got the ball inside, and they've had a couple of fast breaks. Greenbrier East, on the other hand, has taken mostly long shots and have fouled up a couple. So Princeton's zone's keeping them out from underneath with that 5.
In-court pass comes into Bugus. As the Tigers now go to man-to-man. That's a 1-3-1 zone now they moved into. As Johnson with the ball on the right side, back to Bugus. As Bugus tops the key with it. To the left side to Wesley. Wesley back to Bugus, firing from 20 feet off the iron, no good. Rebound pulled down by Dolan at the buzzer. So at the end of the first quarter of play, the Preston Tigers 12, the Greenbrier East Spartans 16, and we'll be back right after this. Okay, as we welcome you back to the Spartan Gymnasium, the Tigers trailing 16-12 in the first quarter. What kind of shooting percentages we get on those teams, Charlie?
Princeton was 6 for 14, and East was 8 for 9.
they got 5 more shots than we did.
Right.
Okay. Personal fouls. Hopefully we can get on foul trouble, Bob.
Well, there's only been 1 foul called against Princeton, 3 against Eads. And the 3 that have been called against Eads have all been on different people. And the big man, Doug Beard, has yet to get a foul. The only player with a foul for Princeton is Stephon Murray.
Okay, as the tip controlled by the Tigers, DeWitt comes up with it, gives it to St. Clair. Jeff holds it, looks at the defense now. To the left side to Eads. Eads moves it toward the corner. Now drives to the baseline. Fakes the shot. Now he does fire. Comes off the edge of the glass. No good. Rebound pulled down by Dolan of the Spartans. Racing with it to the front court. St. Clair takes it away. As St. Clair comes back, he's in heavy traffic. He is challenged. He fakes and he fires. On the iron, no good. Rebound to the Spartans. Pulling it down was Darnell. Gets it out to Bugus. Bugus takes it back to the front court for Greenbrier. Top of the key with it. To the right side to Darnell. Goes toward the baseline, fires off the iron, no good. DeWitt rebounds way in the air to pull it down. Gets it out to St. Clair. St. Clair waits for traffic to clear, and the Tigers will start their offense. To Eads on the right side to DeWitt in the lane, fires over Beard. It comes off the iron, no good. DeWitt got it again, puts it up off the iron again. This time Beard tips it out. Judas picks it up for the Spartans. Takes it down, and Stephon runs over him. Puts a foul on Murray. That's number 2 on Stephon, team foul number 2 on the Tigers. You notice Beard kicks that ball out on tip, and then he plays the trailer. He doesn't work too hard going down after it.
No, he doesn't. He's a little slow getting down the court, as a matter of fact. But he does an excellent job inside for
he's the safety man to keep that interception from coming back. Or so it appears. He stays alert for it.
You know, James Wood has 3 or 4 rebounds so far in this game.
As Bugus with the ball for Spartans now to Frankie Johnson, left side. They go to Darnell in top of the key. Taken away by Miller as Jimmy comes up with it. Gets it over to Eads, and he gives it to St. Clair, and Jeff will bring it to the front court for Princeton. To the left side to Eads on the wing. Gives it back to St. Clair. They go to Miller out on the left wing as Miller works toward the baseline. Gives it back to Eads as Eads comes around behind him. Now to St. Clair, top of the key to DeWitt. They go to Miller, works the baseline on Beard, and it's knocked loose and out of bounds by the Spartans. As David Darnell dropping back to front him while Doug Beard was taking him from behind. A double team got the ball away from Jimmy. DeWitt inbounds it to Eads, firing out of the corner. Off the iron, no good. Rebound pulled down by Darnell of the Spartans. 16-12. Tigers trail by 4 as Bugus takes it to the front court for Greenbrier. As Bugus gets some instruction from the bench, they want to move the offense to the right side now. As Bugus goes to Darnell in the right corner. Back to Frankie Johnson, top of the key, firing. Good. Frankie Johnson from 20 feet away. 18-12. Tigers fall 6 points off of the pace. As St. Clair comes to the front court with it. To DeWitt. DeWitt comes to the corner. Back outside with it to Jeff. To Murray on the left wing as Murray gives it back outside. As Jeff looks to the other side to Eads. Eads on the wing. Holds it overhead. Gives it back to St. Clair. And they go to DeWitt on the left wing. As DeWitt drives to the baseline. Drop trying to get in the middle. Has it knocked loose. Picked up by Eads. And we got a whistle and a traveling call. And it'll be out to the Spartans. As Bugus takes the inbound pass, and he'll take it to the front court. To the left side to Frankie Johnson. Johnson on the dribble with it one time. Gets to Darnell. Works to the baseline. Fires good. David Darnell drops the Tigers 8 points off of the pace now. As they come back to the offense, James DeWitt with the ball on the right side. Fires off the iron, no good. Rebounded Doug Beard of the Greenbrier East. The Tigers only getting 1 shot. That's not a good one. As Bugus takes it to the front court for Greenbrier. Gives it to Frankie Johnson, firing on top of the key. Good. 22-12 now. The Tigers drop 10 points off the pace. And Ralph Ball signals he wants a timeout. So it's 5:09 left to play in the first half. Greenbrier East 22, Princeton 12. We'll be back right after this.
Well, they're 0 for 6 in the second quarter, and Greenbrier East is 3 of 4. And if you connect up the first quarter with the second quarter, Princeton has missed 9 shots in a row, and their shot selection has not been very good. I think the zone that Greenbrier East and all that size they have inside has altered Princeton's style of play a little bit.
Okay, as we come back to the ball game, the Spartans out. They got Frankie Johnson, Doug Beard, David Whitman. We got a new player in for him. David Whitman, number 12, was in. Pete Bugus and David Darnell. Tigers go back with St. Clair, DeWitt, Miller, Murray, and Eads. As DeWitt with the ball left side. Gives it back to St. Clair, top of the key to Murray on the right side. to Eads, firing from outside, good. Mike Eads hits it from 20 feet for the Tigers, 22-14 now. Tigers down by 8 as Bugus brings it to the front court against a little man-to-man defense from Jeff St. Clair. As Bugus still on the dribble, they get several picks. Now Eads picks him up, and they give it inside to Whitman. Whitman gives it back outside to Johnson. Johnson waits for Bugus to come out, and they give it back to him. As Bugus now calls the play, they want number 4. Bugus goes to Johnson, goes to the left side, goes to the baseline. He is fouled by St. Clair. That's number 1 on Jeff. Team foul number 3 on the Tigers. And it'll be a shooting foul as Johnson going to the baseline, going up for the shot when St. Clair nailed him.
This will be the first foul shot in the ball game.
22-14. Tigers trailing by 8 right now with 4:31 to play in the first half. Johnson fires. Good. He'll have a second attempt. Johnson fires. Good. 24-14. As the Tigers come to the offense, St. Clair with the ball, moves it to the front court, to the right side to Eads. Eads holds it up, gives it back to St. Clair. To Murray, he holds it overhead, looks outside, gives it back to St. Clair. Jeff, top of the key with it. To DeWitt on the right side, works it toward the corner, gives it back outside now. St. Clair comes to Murray on the near side. They double team, and Murray gives it back outside. To Eads on the right side, works toward the corner, fakes the shot. Drops it outside again as St. Clair comes back to DeWitt on the near side. DeWitt trying to get it to Miller, has it deflected, picked up by Greenbrier. They played excellent defense there, a lot of patience. And Bugus will take it to the front court for them. They lead the Tigers by 10. To Johnson. Johnson works around Eads, gives it back outside to Bugus. Bugus tops the key with it. To the right side to Darnell. Drops it into Beard, has it knocked loose. Out of bounds off of the Spartans. It'll be Tiger ball. As the Tigers got the turnover. 24-14, Tigers trail as St. Clair comes to the front court with it. Moves it toward the right side. To Eads. Goes into the lane. Leaves it to Murray. Goes under. Puts it up. He is hammered. No call on it. Ball comes out to the Spartans. As Johnson takes it to the front court, loses it out of bounds. It'll be Tiger ball on the baseline. Far into the court. And they'll bring it back to the front court. As Jeff St. Clair brings it to the front. So DeWitt in the corner, gives it back to St. Clair to Eads. Top of the key with it. As Eads gives it to Murray. Murray comes toward the corner, gives it back outside to Eads. As Eads on the wing now. They're trying to drop it underneath on the alley-oop to Jimmy. Can't get it there as Greenbrier comes up with it as they're fronting Miller. Front and back as Bugus takes it to the front court for the Spartans now. To Darnell, drives under, puts the shot up, no good. Tipped up once by Beard, put up again by Beard. We got a foul. That's on DeWitt, I believe.
Buddy, they're going to shoot it, and I couldn't see a number.
They should be on James DeWitt, though. He's the guy hitting. That'll put Doug Beard on the free throw line for the Spartans. Has team foul number 4 on the Tigers. As Beard fires, it's no good. He'll have a second attempt. As Beard ready for a second attempt now. 24-14, Tigers trail by 10. As Beard fires, it's no good. Rebound to Eads of the Tigers. He rips it away from David Whitman of the Spartans. Gives it to St. Clair. They come to the front court. DeWitt with the ball now. Right side. Back to St. Clair. To Eads. Eads outside of the wing. Back to St. Clair and to DeWitt in the right side corner. St. Clair trying to get it to Murray. Got him on the baseline. Puts the shot up over top of Beard. And Miller trying to tip. Beard slammed his hand forward. Put the ball over across the rim. And one of the Spartans knocked it out of bounds. Checking into the ball game for Greenbrier East is Kevin Whitley. Doug Beard will get a chance to catch a breather. And Murray goes out, and Bill Harmon comes in. Tigers will have the ball out of bounds on the baseline as DeWitt inbounds it to Eads, to St. Clair. St. Clair out the top of the key, moves it to the left side. Now he's directing some traffic. To Harmon in the corners. Bill starts it into the baseline. Trying to drop it over into Miller, has it tipped out of bounds. It'll be Tiger ball out of bounds right in front of us.
Tipped out of bounds into our table, as a matter of fact.
James DeWitt will inbound it now off the baseline. Gets it into Eads in the corner. Gives it back to St. Clair. Back to Eads. He'll fire from outside. Got it. Mike Eads hits it from about 18 feet. 24-16. Tigers down by 8. As Bugus will move it to the front court. As St. Clair puts some pressure on him. As they go underneath with it on the backdoor play to Jay Gillespie. And Gillespie got the bucket. Gillespie hits it for Greenbrier. 26-16 as Eads to the front court for the Tigers now. To St. Clair, to DeWitt, firing out of the corner, off the iron, no good. Rebound, slapped around, pulled down by Whitley. Greenbrier, he gets it over to Bugus, and Pete will take it to the front court. Whirls around St. Clair, fakes the shot, gives it outside to Darnell, firing good. Darnell from 25 feet pours it in. 28-16. St. Clair comes down the left side to DeWitt, to Miller on the low post. Miller triple teamed. He gets the shot away. He is fouled by Whitley. Whitley got some arm on him, but he was triple teamed on that low post. That's number 1 on Whitley. Team foul number 4 on the Spartans.
You know, Princeton needs to start to back it out a little bit, I think, and try to get them out of that zone with some good outside shooting if they can get it. They're not going to, I don't think the way they're playing this zone that they're going to get in too much. Princeton appears to be kind of tentative on taking that outside shot.
You're sure giving Jimmy a few fits underneath, aren't you?
Well, if they're triple teaming him, they're working on him pretty good.
As Jimmy Miller on the free throw line fires the first one, it's good. So he'll have one more. I think Jimmy had a haircut since last time we saw him.
I believe you're right.
Jimmy fires again, it's good. 28-18 now. Bugus with the ball in the Tigers. Full court press right now. Whitley with the ball. Gives it to Bugus. And they cut him off. He gets it to Darnell. Darnell goes in the front court with it. Gives it to Whitley outside to Gillespie. Puts it up and in. Jay Gillespie puts it up and in. We got a foul against one of the Tigers.
Yeah, I believe it's on Jeff St. Clair. If it is, it's his second team foul number 5.
It is on Jeff.
But it looked to me like the Greenbrier East player walked and ran into Jeff.
30-18. Tigers down by 12 now. And they'll have Jay Gillespie on the free throw line to shoot one throw. And we get John Hansberger into the ballgame for the Tigers to give Jeff St. Clair a breather. So Gillespie on the line. He'll shoot one. He fires. It's good. 31-18. Tigers trail with 1:16 to play in the first half. Mike Eads into the front court with it to Hansberger, right side, to DeWitt in the corner. Back outside to John Hansberger. Takes the shot, gives it back to DeWitt, goes down the baseline, fires good. DeWitt gets it for the Tigers. 31-20. Tigers down by 11 now. Bugus goes to the front court. Starts it down the lane. He's cut off by Hansberger. Gets it outside to Gillespie. Goes under, drops it underneath, and boy, somebody's really hammered in there. Whitman really got hammered. Let's see who they charge it against. And it's against Jimmy Miller. That's number 1 on Jimmy. And it's team foul number 6 on the Tigers. I think that Whitman knew he got hit. He's on the line, though. He'll shoot 2 shots. He fires, it's good. He'll have a second attempt. 32-20. A 12-point advantage right now for the Greenbrier East Spartans over the Princeton Tigers. Whitman fires. It's off the iron, no good. Ball knocked up and down. We got a foul underneath. That should be on Whitley of the Spartans as he run into the back of Jimmy trying to contest the rebounding position. That's number 2 on Whitley. Team foul number 5, so they'll shoot that. It was on the rebound. It was a loose ball foul. It'll be a 1-and-1 as Miller will go to the line for the Tigers to shoot a 1-and-1. 51 seconds left to play in the first half. 32-20. Tigers trailing here by 12 now. As they're having some conversation between themselves to get things lined up. Now Miller's on the line. He's got the ball. He'll fire with the right hand. He's got it on the way. Good. He'll have a second attempt. As Miller will have one more. And the Tigers are going to press if he can make this, so they've got it set up. He fires. It's good. And now they do as the Greenbrier tries to get away quick. And they do. Bugus beats the press, gets it to the front court, and Harmon runs him down. I mean, absolutely run him into the ground. And it's foul on Bill Harmon. That's number 1. There wasn't much doubt who that foul was on, was it? Bill kind of bulldogged me.
Well, no, I think Bill lost his balance.
It looked worse than it was. He and Bugus go scooting down the floor. Bugus on the bottom. Now, what do you think? Bugus fires his free throw. It is no good. DeWitt rebounds for the Tigers. 32-22. Tigers down by 10 as Eads comes to the front court with it for Princeton. 40 seconds to play in the first half. Hansberger the ball. To Harmon. Harmon deep in the corner with it. Gives it back outside to Eads. Eads comes it back to Hansberger. Hansberger to DeWitt in the corner. Firing from 20 feet. Good. And we got a foul. And that's on Whitley. That's on Whitley. And that should be 3 on him.
It is 3.
And that'll put DeWitt on the line to shoot 1.
That's team foul number 6 on the Spartans also.
Okay. We got 27 seconds left to shoot the one-on-one. As the Spartans making some substitution now, they're bringing their first team back in. Wesley coming back in. Their starters, not necessarily the first team. Johnson back in. They're keeping Beard out. So, to the wet, firing his free throw. No good. Rebound. Pulled down by Harmer of the Tigers. Turns it on, fires, no good. Miller got this for the Tigers. Puts it up, no good. Miller goes to the floor. Rebound pulled down by Greenbrier. And it's kicked loose. Hansberger comes up with it. Gives it back to Jimmy. Works underneath, puts it up and in, and we got a foul. And that foul will be on Scotty Dolan, and I don't believe that call. The fans are booing. And really, he whistled that foul before they ever got together. Miller had the ball still going up. He was fouled. If he was fouled at all, foul on the well, we'll take it.
We sure will, because there's a lot of difference between being down 12 and right now down by 6 with 14 seconds.
Could get within 5. Yeah. So Miller got the field goal. He'll get a chance at a free throw now. Jimmy will fire with the right hand. He looks up there. He puts it on the way, and it is good. 32-27. As Gillespie with the ball against the Tiger press. Now back to Johnson, throw away, and the Tigers come up with the ball as the Witt intercepts it. 7 seconds on the clock. Hope they look at the clock. And Hansberger starts it toward the lane. We got a 3-second violation called against the Tigers. 2 seconds on the clock now. Dolan will inbound it as he throws it full court, hits the rafters with it. It'll be Tiger ball right here in front of us. Can he get a tip set up?
Princeton ball with 2 seconds to go, right underneath their own goal.
That's right here in front of us. In the nickel seats.
Well, let's hope nobody blocks it our direction.
Keep your hands up. The Witt will inbound it now. As the Witt pulls the trigger, goes to Miller. He works underneath, fires, no good. Rebound. Comes out to the Spartans at the end of the first quarter of play. It is the Greenbrier Spartans 32. The Princeton Tigers 27. So in that second quarter, I got that, see. The Tigers got 15 points in the second quarter, while the Spartans got 16 points. So a 5-point halftime difference here, 32-27. We'll be back with more. First, let's pause for this. The Tigers getting 12 points in the first quarter, 15 points in the second quarter for 27 points at halftime. The Spartans getting 16 points in the first quarter, coming back with 16 again in the second quarter for 32 points at halftime. Halftime score, Greenbrier East 32, Princeton 27.
11 of 32 shots, had 16 rebounds, committed 6 turnovers. For Greenbrier East, made 14 of 29 from the field, had 19 rebounds, and committed 8 turnovers.
What was that shooting for Greenbrier?
14 for 29.
Well, that's 50%.
Almost 60, yeah.
And the Tigers shot 35%, 33%. Okay. Bob, you got some individual stats for us.
Well, the first thing I think that maybe Charlie should say hello to Dreamer and Melissa.
Yeah, I better defend myself there. Dreamer will get mad.
Better pay the rent.
That's right.
For the Greenbrier East Spartans in the first half, the big man, Doug Beard, had 2 field goals. He was 0 for 2 at the foul line for 4 points. C.C. Wesley, who started, did not score in the game. Darnell, who was deadly from the outside corner, had 5 field goals for 10 points. Johnson, the point guard for Greenbrier East, had 3 field goals. He was 2 of 2 at the line for 8 points. Pete Bugus had 2 field goals. He was 0 of 1 at the foul line for 4 points. Jake Gillespie had 2 field goals. He was 1 of 1 at the foul line for 5 points. And Whitman, who came into the game late, was 1 of 2 at the foul line for 1 point. For Greenbrier East, they had 14 field goals. They were 4 of 8 at the foul line for a total of 32 points in the first half. For Princeton, Jimmy Miller, who has been pretty well contained inside with the zone that Greenbrier East has used, had 3 field goals. He was a perfect 5 of 5 at the foul line for 9 points. Mike Eads, who came in and provided some outside shooting for Princeton, was 4 field goals. He did not go to the foul line. He had a total of 8 points. Jeff St. Clair had 2 field goals. Both of them came in the first quarter and were from outside at the top, above the top of the key. He had 4 points on the half. James DeWitt, who plays a very consistent ball game for Princeton, had 3 field goals. He was 0 of 1 at the foul line for a total of 6 points. Stephon Murray came into the game. He picked up 2 fouls. Jeff St. Clair also has 2 fouls for Princeton. Jimmy Miller had 1. Bill Harmon won. James DeWitt won. Princeton had 11 field goals. They were 5 of 6 as compared with 4 of 8 for Greenbrier East for a total of 27 points.
Okay, halftime score, the Princeton Tigers 27, Greenbrier East Spartans 32, and we'll be back with special guests. First, let's pause for this.
Okay, we're back at Greenbrier East High School with the score at halftime. Greenbrier East 32, Princeton 27, and we have with us at halftime as our special guest the two-term mayor of the city of Princeton and a teacher at Oakvale High School, Mr. Gene Bailey. And Gene, the first thing that I think I wanted to ask you about, of course everyone knows, for the past 2 years, Oakvale students attended Princeton High School. And this is the first season that Oakvale has fielded a basketball team. I think there are some of the players who last year contributed to this Princeton team and went to the AAA state championship. And would you comment on how those players are doing and how Oakvale basketball is progressing this season?
Bob, I've only seen them play one game, so I'm not that familiar with them. But they really have a lot of rebuilding to do at Oakvale, and quite a few of the boys that went to Princeton last year didn't come out for basketball. I think Floyd Austin could really help this Princeton team. Of course, he played some for Princeton last year. And the game that I saw, Floyd looked real good. He's quick, good shot.
Well, Floyd, I think, was an excellent ball player last year at Princeton. And, of course, Carmen Stauffer's going to have a great deal of rebuilding to do at Oakvale because they've only been playing together this the first year. I want to change the subject and ask you about something that I think a lot of people in Princeton are interested in, and that's the progress toward obtaining a new community center.
Yeah, I think the idea of a community center we've had for a long time, and it looks like it's going to become a reality very soon. And as you know, we'll be acting on hiring an architect Monday evening before City Council, and also approving the preliminary plans, the updated plans that we're now ready to go with. The Parks and Recreation Board has worked very hard on this project. They've had to change the plans a number of times depending on costs, problems that kept cropping up. But I believe we've got something this time that will really be an asset to Princeton, to the sports program, and also just to exercise of the citizens of the town and the community.
Yeah, one thing that a lot of people overlook sometimes, I'm afraid, is that your midget basketball program and your program from, say, the 4th to the 6th grade, in a lot of cases, that's where a lot of these kids learn their fundamentals that they carry with them through junior high school, and even into college basketball. And for the past 3 years, Princeton has not had a place to play their midget ball games. This year, I think they're going to Oakvale. And you might want to mention some of the facilities that will be available under the plans that will be proposed Monday night.
Well, we've really been handicapped with the midget program the last 2 or 3 years, you mentioned. Last year, we only got a half schedule in and had to play it at Concord College. You couldn't use Oakvale. The year before that, we used Oakvale, and this year back at Oakvale, but it is quite a long distance to travel. We'll have a full-size high school gym in this facility. And for Midget League, we can play cross-court, have 2 games going at one time. And we will have enough seating capacity so that the parents and the friends can get out and watch them play. And we'll have a multi-purpose floor so that it can be used for many other activities other than just basketball. We expect that to only be a small part of it. And we'll have 2 handball courts. And, of course, already in the planning stage, to be added sometime in the future is an indoor swimming pool. And we're very excited about that.
Thanks very much, Mayor Bailey, and we will pause for these messages.
That time score, 32-27, the Tigers trailing. And we're about ready for the second half of basketball. As Tigers back on the floor. We're just about ready to go. The Tigers having a little trouble holding their own on the board here tonight, getting it inside against the strength of the Spartans. That's not the taking away from Spartans, so they're playing with what they have to play with. Now, they've got a lot of strength. If you got it, you don't use it. That's more patient. So they're doing what they do well, and that is control loose backboard, keep the ball alive, get pressure for one shot, take it out, and go with it. And that's what they're doing. The Tigers are shooting about 73% in the first half, Spartans shooting 50%. That makes the difference. We're ready to go. Tigers out there. Spartans out there. They'll be third to jump against fourth. As Here's in. Miller comes in now. And it tosses up. Has to go this point. He's got out. Breaks with it. Goes down. He is fouled by the whip. And he got the bucket, and he is fouled by the whip. As the tip comes out to Darnell. He takes it straight down, puts it up, and is fouled by the whip. So we got 34-27 now. And we'll have David Darnell on the free throw line for the Spartans. And he'll shoot one shot only. As Darnell fires, it's good. He'll have a second attempt. No, he will not. It's one shot only. 35-27 now. Jeff St. Clair takes it to the front court for the Tigers. To the right side to DeWitt. DeWitt looks underneath, gives it back outside to Jeff. Looks to the left side to Harmon. Harmon starts it toward the baseline. He'll fire from 20 feet. Good. Bill Harmon drives it in. 35-29. Tigers down by 6 with 7:36 to play in the third quarter. As Pete Bugus brings it to the front court for Greenbrier. To Frankie Johnson. He'll fire from deep in the corner off the iron. No good. Rebound to Darnell underneath. Puts it up. He is fouled by DeWitt. And DeWitt looks at the official at his third foul. He got it. It's number 2 on the Tigers in the second half. And DeWitt got a grin on his face like he says he didn't foul him. So we'll have David Darnell on the free throw line for the Spartans, and he will shoot 2 shots. Tigers right now with Miller, Harmon, St. Clair, DeWitt, and Eads. David Darnell on the line for the Spartans, and he'll put it up with the right hand. It's on the way. It's no good. He'll have a second attempt. As Darnell will try again.
Darnell has already scored 13 points in this game, and that's 2 points over his season average.
Time put a stop to it, didn't it? Darnell fires again. He made that one, though. 36-29. The Tigers down by 7 to St. Clair. Takes it to the front court. To the right side. To DeWitt, deep in the corner. Looks underneath. Gives it back outside to St. Clair. They come across court with it to Eads. He's to Harmon in the corner left side. They can't get it in the middle, so Harmon fires. It's on the iron. No good. Ball slapped up. That should be a foul underneath on C.C. Wesley of the Spartans. That's number 2 on Wesley. And the team foul number 1 on the Spartans. So it'll be Tiger ball on the baseline. Out from their own bucket. DeWitt will inbound it. And he gets it into Miller. Miller fires. Good. Miller hits it from about 10, 11 feet. 36-31 now. Bugus brings it to the front court for Greenbrier. Moves it toward the left side. Gets it to Johnson. Top of the key with it. Holds it overhead. Looks underneath. Gives it back outside to Bugus. Bugus on the dribble with it. To Johnson. Starts into the lane. Fires it back outside to Wesley. Now they go to Darnell low. He puts the shot up and in. David Darnell gets it low on the baseline. Spinning. Firing. Good. 38-31 as Eads works it to the front court for the Tigers. To St. Clair, to DeWitt, deep in the corner left side. Back to St. Clair, to Eads. He'll fire from the top of the key. It's off the iron, no good. DeWitt rebounds, fires it back, got it. James DeWitt puts it back up and in. 38-33 as the Tigers in a semi-press as Bugus brings it against to the front court against St. Clair. As Bugus still on the dribble with it. To the right side to Johnson, to Beard down low, spinning, firing, good. Doug Beard hits it for the Spartans. 40-33. Tigers trail by 7. As the Tigers go to the offense, St. Clair to Harmon. They drop it to Miller on the low post. Trying to get it to Eads. Has a knock loose. Picked up way outside by St. Clair as the Tigers control. He gets it back to Eads. Eads trying to get it to Harmon. Has it kicked out of bounds by the Spartans as Bugus kicks it out of bounds. 5:48 to play in the third quarter. The Tigers trailing here by 7 as St. Clair with the ball. To Eads. Works down the left side. Fires. No good. Rebound fought for. Comes into Eads. He picks it up in the lane. Drops it to Miller underneath, and they lose it out of bounds. Couldn't get the handle on the ball. 40-33. And the Spartans have the ball. It's Frankie Johnson with it in the backcourt. Gets it to Bugus. Bugus comes to the key with it. He'll fire from 18 feet. Good. 42-33. And St. Clair moves to the front court with it for Princeton. Holds it overhead. Now he gives it to DeWitt deep in the corner, back outside to Jeff. Eads on the right side. The Harmon works the baseline. Goes under on Beard. Has the shot put up, no good. Rebound put up by DeWitt, no good. Rebound pulled down by Beard of the Spartans. Beard gets it out to Bugus. Now they go down to Wesley. Fires good as Wesley hits it on the fast break. 44-33 as he picks the snowbird. 44-33. Tigers down by 11. It's St. Clair with it in the front court, left side now for the Tigers. to Eads. Fires to the right side of the key. Got it. 16 feet. He puts it in. 44-35. As Frankie Johnson dribbling with it, brings it to the front court for Greenbrier. We got a whistle and a foul. I believe it's on Eads. He run into a screen. It is on Mike Eads. That's number 1 on Mike. Team foul number 3 on the Tigers. It'll be out of bounds midcourt to the Spartans. As Johnson inbounds it to Darnell, and he kicked it right back out of bounds. So now it'll be Princeton ball. As DeWitt inbounds it to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff takes it to the front court. To the left side, Eads, top of the key with it. To Harmon in the corner with it. To Miller on the low post. Works on Beard. Fires. Good. As Miller spinning it off the glass. Pulls the Tigers within 7. 44-37 now. As Frankie Johnson held over in the back court. Gets it to Bugus. Lifts at the bucket. Doesn't take the shot. Moves it to the left side to Wesley. Firing. Good. C.C. Wesley on a spinning jump shot. As all these Spartans shoot well. 46-37. The Tigers starting. They got Harmon loose on the snowboard. Goes under, puts it up. No good. Rebound. Comes out to the Spartans. As the ball went down in the bucket and decided to come back out. As our table just gets bounced all over the place when they check a wire, make sure we're still hooked up. It looks like we're live. Yeah, we're okay. The official check. Didn't even throw my drink. Good catch, Bob. How come you didn't catch that? Ball thrown out of bounds. It'll be Tiger ball. They go back to the offense now. As Eads with the ball in the front court with it for the Tigers. To Jeff St. Clair. St. Clair to the left side of the Witt, deep in the corner. Outside with it to St. Clair. To Eads on the right side. Takes the shot. Goes into the lane. Puts it up over Beard. It's no good. Rebound comes off the iron. Picked up by Bugus for the Spartans. As Eads kicks it loose. And we got a whistle. And what did they call? They're giving the ball out to Greenbrier East. All right, they call Eads for kicking the ball. So it's the Greenbrier East ball. So Bugus now will bring it to the front court for Greenbrier East. To Johnson, firing out of the corner. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound to Eads in traffic. Waits on to clear off, and then takes it to the front court to St. Clair. St. Clair drives it to the baseline. Can't get it loose. Gives it to Miller underneath. Miller goes up. He is fouled by Beard. Did we get a goaltending on that one?
I would have thought that would have been a goaltending call on that.
They say no. They just say the foul on Beard. He'll shoot 2. That's number 1 on Beard. Team foul number 2 on the Spartans. And Jimmy Miller on the line to shoot 2 for the Tigers. 46-37. Tigers trail by 9. As Miller firing with one hand with the right hand. He puts it up. It's good. And he'll have a second attempt. I'm going to check a wire right down here real quickly. Miller fires. Good. Now we got a buzzer and a substitution coming in. We're okay. We're still up. Making sure the ball didn't do any more damage than we thought that it did.
We've got Jay Gillespie into the ball game for Greenbrier East. As Greenbrier East throws the ball in, Sam.
As the up-court pass, intercepted by St. Clair. Back to Eads in the corner with it for the Tigers. Fires now from 18 feet off the iron. No good. We got a foul on Harmon going over the back of Wesley.
That's Bill Harmon's second foul. Team foul number 4 on the Princeton Tigers in the second half.
And it'll be out to the Spartans in the backcourt. As they bring it into Gillespie. Brings it to the front court on the dribble with it. Still on the move. Gets it to Bugus. He'll call the play now. And he'll start the offense. To the right side to Gillespie. Drops it to Beard on the post. He'll fire. Off the iron and good. 48-39. Tigers down by 9. And St. Clair with it on the offense for the Tigers. Still on the move. To the right side to Eads. On the wing, right side. Holds it high overhead. Gives it back outside to St. Clair. Firing from 22 feet, no good. Rebound pulled down by Gillespie. Has the Spartans control. Gets to Bugus. Bugus to the front court with it now. Moves it to the right side to Gillespie. Gillespie drives it to the baseline. Takes the shot. Gives it to Beard. He'll fire from 8 feet. Good. Doug Beard puts the Spartans up by 11 here in the third quarter with 2:19 to play. Jeff St. Clair takes it to the front court for Princeton. To Eads. To Bill Harmon. He'll fire out of the corner. Good. 50 to 41. As the Tigers within 9. As Bugus comes to the front court with it for Greenbrier. Drives to the baseline. Goes under. Takes the shot. Gives it outside to Darnell. To Wesley. Gives it back to Bugus. And they'll throw it all over again. He gets it to Gillespie. Puts it down low to Beard. Puts the shot up, no good. Tipped up by Wesley, no good. Beard puts it up again, no good. Wesley tips again, no good. And DeWitt fouled him as they had it going back and forth. That's number 4 on DeWitt. Team foul number 5 on the Tigers. As DeWitt, the only way he could find to stop it was hit him across the side of the head, so he did.
And James DeWitt picked up 3 fouls in this third quarter.
He'll be out. That's 5 team fouls?
They're saying 1 and 1 over the bench.
Yeah,
we were right. It is 5 team fouls.
And should put Wesley on the free throw line to shoot a 1 and 1.
Jimmy's doing an excellent job underneath.
How many shots did the Spartans get out there? 4?
4 or 5.
The tips back and forth. Now to shoot 1 throw. He fires. It's good. And the Tigers still in the press now. As Frankie Johnson with the ball in the backcourt. Gets it to Bugus. Bugus moves it to the front court. Now they got a 3-on-1. He goes to Wesley. Puts it up and in. Wesley hits it for Greenbrier. 54-45. And St. Clair moves it back to the front court for the Tigers. St. Clair with a way out front. Spartans into a 2-3 zone. As they go to Stefan in the middle, he puts the shot up, no good. Rebound, pulled down by Beard. As kicked outside the referee, we got the foul on DeWitt. That's his number 5. As he was going for the pass and run right over top of David Darnell. Well, let's see. We may have marked him. We may give him credit for one that wasn't his.
Well, we must have, because they're showing 4 fouls.
That means that we got somebody else got one more than what we're showing. That'll put David Darnell on the free throw line for Greenbrier East, and he'll fire a 1 and 1. 54 seconds to play in the third quarter. Darnell fires. It is good. He'll have a second attempt. Bill Harmon comes into the ball game now for the Tigers, and that'll give DeWitt a chance to rest with those fouls on himself. 55-45. Tigers down by 10. 54 seconds to play in the third quarter. Darnell fires with the right hand. It is on the front of the iron, the back of the iron. He got it, but he had all kinds of iron before it dropped. 56-45. Tigers 11 points off the pace. As Eads with the ball right side for the Tigers. Fires from 20 feet. It's on the iron. No good. Rebound pulled down by the Spartans. Out to Johnson. Frankie Johnson brings it to the front court. To Wesley. Goes under. He is fouled by Eads. And on Eads, that is foul number 2. And that's going to put C.C. Wesley on the free throw line. He'll shoot 2 shots. 39 seconds to play in the third quarter. Greenbrier 56, Princeton 45. Wesley fires. It's good. He'll have a second attempt. This kid, Wesley, is a smaller version, but look where he's going. Reminds you an awful lot of the way Warren Baker. You remember Warren when he was playing over here?
Yes, I remember Warren. I saw Warren play up at Wisconsin. West Virginia played Wisconsin 1 year. Warren is still playing AAU basketball in the Greenbrier East area.
And the shot put up no good by Wesley on the second attempt. 57-45 now with 34 seconds to play in the third quarter. The Tigers come to the offense. Eads, cross court with it to Harmon. Firing from 20 feet. It's over the back iron. No good. Rebound pulled down by Johnson of Greenbrier. Johnson brings it to the front court. To Bugus. Not loose by Murray. Back to St. Clair to Miller. Miller on the run. He goes down. Puts it up. Rolls it off. No good. Rebound pulled down by St. Clair in the lane. St. Clair puts it up to the left hand. No good. Ball still loose. Now signed by Greenbrier with 9 seconds. As Miller could not get the handle on it down there to lay it up, and the fans give him a riding. They go down to Wesley. Wesley loses a handle on it. Picked up by Whitley. Down to Darnell, the opposing foul. Nobody can get a shot. That's into the third quarter of play. Princeton 45. Greenbrier East 57. And we'll be back right after this.
Why don't you go shopping? Be nice to yourself. A day out of the house will make you feel good. So when you're looking for something special to do, there's just one thing to do. It's your time, it's your life.
Leggett in downtown Princeton, open Monday and Friday nights till 8:30.
Sam's getting on Jimmy a little bit down there, Bob, on that layup that he couldn't get the handle on.
Well, he has attempted 2 dunk shots in this ball game. He was wide open. St. Clair got to him. There was nobody around him. And it sort of spun around the rim, started looking like it was going to spin down into it, and then jumped out. And then Greenbrier, of course, got the rebound. In the third quarter, Greenbrier had 9 field goals, 7 of 9 at the foul line for 25 points. Princeton had 6 field goals. They were 6 of 6 at the foul line, and all 6 of the shots from the foul line were taken by Jimmy Miller for 18 points. So they lost 7 points in the third quarter.
Okay, well, shooting any better, Charlie?
No, it's getting worse. Princeton is only 6 for 24.
Oh, my goodness. 25%.
25%.
All right, tip control for the Tigers as we start the fourth quarter now. Eads with the ball. Goes to the top of the key to St. Clair. To the right side to Harmon on the wing. Holds it overhead. Gives it back to St. Clair, top of the key. They move to the left side to Eads. Eads works it toward the corner. Gives it back outside to St. Clair. And they go to Harmon on the far side. Harmon drops it to Miller on the low post. Has it knocked loose and out of bounds by the Spartans. As they will not give Jimmy enough room to play ball on that baseline if they can help it. As Harmon inbounds it for the Tigers, sees. He gives it out front to St. Clair. Goes to the top of the key with it. To the left side to Harmon. Harmon back to St. Clair. Firing from 20 feet on the iron. No good. Rebound pulled down by Whitley of the Spartans. Whitley gets it over to Bugis, and Bugis brings it to front court. And Bob, Bugis is about as good a guard we've seen this year.
He may not have the quickness of some of the others, but he's a very heady ball player.
Passes to Darnell. Darnell puts it in from 15 feet. He quarterbacks the club very well. As the Tigers come back to the offense now. Harmon with the ball right side. The Tigers starting by 14 to Murray on the high post. Gives it back outside to Harmon. To St. Clair, top of the key to Eads on the left side. Firing from 20 feet off the iron, no good. Rebound pulled down by Whitman of Greenbrier. To Frankie Johnson and to Bugis. Bugis brings it to the front court. To the left side. To Darnell. Darnell can't get underneath. Has it deflected. Picked up by Whitman. He is fouled by Eads. Been on Eads or Harmon. I believe it's Eads, wasn't it? Yes. Number 3 on Mike. And that'll put David Whitman on the free throw line. And we've got a timeout on the floor as the Tigers want to talk over with 6:48 left to play in the ball game. Greenbrier East 59, Princeton 45. We'll be back right after this.
The little kids have been taking that shot.
Yeah, the Tigers are running up against a lot of strength here tonight. Bob, you got something on that JV game.
Right. Princeton won the JV game tonight very easily, 76-58. Last year, Greenbrier East had probably the best JV team. Most of those players are out here on the court tonight. Princeton won 76-58 in JV. Jim Posey had 27 points. Frank Jenkins had 14, and David Livingston, the sophomore, had 18.
Okay, we've got David Whitman on the free throw line for the Spartans right now, and he'll shoot for the free throw. He puts the first one up, no good. He'll have a second attempt. 59-45. Tigers starting by 14. As Whitman will have one more attempt. Puts it up with the right hand. It's on the iron, no good. Rebound pulled down for the Tigers. Out is Miller. Throws it off, gives it outside to Harmon. Goes down the left side to St. Clair. Top of the key to the right side to Eads. Drops it to Murray on the low post. Knocked out of bounds by the Spartans as Whitley got a hand on it.
One thing that's been kind of surprising, Greenbrier East has substituted very freely here tonight, so they have some depth on this ball club.
As inbound pass to Miller, puts the shot up, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Spartans as Whitley claims it. Gets it out to Bugis. Bugis to Johnson into the front court and holds it up and gives it back to Bugis. Bugis will start the offense. To Johnson on the right side. Starts it into the corner, gives it back outside. They go into the post with it to Darnell. Drives the lane, puts it up. Darnell got the bucket. 61-45. 16-point disadvantage for the Tigers now. As Harmon with the ball left side for Princeton. Gets it out to Stefan on the high post. To Eads on the right side. Takes the shot, goes to the baseline. Double team, gives it out to Murray on the high post again to St. Clair. Firing from the top of the key off the front of the iron. No good. We got a dogfight underneath and a foul. Is that on Miller?
That's Jimmy's third foul of the night.
It is on Jim. That's number 3 on Jim. And that'll put one of the Spartans on the free throw line. We'll see who. As Kevin Whitley will be shooting. Whitley fires. It is no good. Rebound. Fought for. Brought down by Harmon of the Tigers. Harmon gives it to St. Clair, and Jeff takes it to the front court. Top of the key with it to the right side now to Eads. Eads holds it overhead, gives it back to St. Clair to Harmon. Harmon will fire from 20 feet off the iron. Way in the air with it, and it's claimed by Greenbrier. Gets it out to Johnson. Johnson in the front court. Goes down, lays it up good. Frankie Johnson puts the Spartans up 63-45. 18 big points now. And Harmon with the ball left side for the Tigers. Trying to get underneath to Stephon. Murray got it on the baseline. He is hammered underneath. Foul called on Whitley. That's number 4 on Whitley. And that'll get Ken Beard back into the ball game for the Spartans. 5:21 to play in the ball game. 63-45. Tigers kind of taking their lumps over here at Fairleigh, West Virginia. Stephon Murray on the free throw line for the Tigers. Fires with the right hand. It's good. He'll have a second attempt.
9 of the first 12 players for Greenbrier East are seniors. And, of course, that's been one of the problems Princeton's had, that a lot of these teams are dominated by seniors that Princeton's playing this year.
Stephon puts up the second free throw, no good. Harmon rebounds, puts it up, no good. Rebound comes off to the Spartans. Coming out with it is Whitman. He gets it out to Bugus, and Bugus will bring it to the front court. He is fouled from the side by St. Clair.
In almost 3 minutes of this fourth quarter, Princeton has scored 1 point on 1 free throw. They have not hit a bucket in the fourth quarter.
On the free throw line will be Pete Bugus. He fires, it's no good. Rebound pulled down by Beard in the lane. He puts it up, no good. Rebound pulled down by Whitman. He puts it back up. We got a whistle of a foul. It's on Mike Eads. Mike looking at the official like he doesn't understand it. That's number 4 on Mike. How many Jeff got on him now?
Jeff has 2.
Did you get that last one? He just fouled Bugus?
That was on Eads.
Is that on Eads?
I believe that was on Mike Eads.
Mike, okay. So we'll have Whitman on the line. He fires, it's good. Remember, Bugus was the quarterback on the football team last year, Bob. He was injured quite a bit.
That's right, and one of the things that Greenbrier East has imitated Jack Cox with the weight program, I think you were mentioning on the way down.
That's right. As Whitman hits his second free throw, and the upbound court pass for Tigers taken away as Frankie Johnson comes back with it. The Bugus back to Johnson, puts it up, no good. As Murray spikes it against the board, Bugus got the ball, and he throws it for Whitman, and we've got a wrestling match between Eads and Whitman, and the foul called on Whitman. So on Whitman, that is foul number 1. That'll put Eads on the free throw line as they went sliding out of bounds. As Hansberger comes in for the Tigers right now, and the Tigers want a timeout. So with 4:50 left to play in the ball game, Greenbrier 65, Princeton 46. We'll be back right after this. Now Bob Zopp, the very personable and efficient coach of the Spartans football coach over here, has developed a weight program very similar to the one Jack Pack uses at the Tigers. And in fact, I think Bob came over and talked to Jack some 5-6 years ago and got a lot of instructions and help, and Jack was very willing to give him his help, knowing that it's going to make his competition tougher, but also knowing it would probably teach youngsters to be better prepared to take care of themselves.
Well, that's true, and I think the weight program is very important to the football program, especially in a school the size of the Greenbrier East. And, of course, those of you that haven't been here, this is a relatively new school, a consolidated school, and a beautiful campus-like facility.
As Mike Eads on the free throw line for the Tigers now. Fires the first of 1-on-1. It's good. He'll get a second attempt. Mike Eads will try again. 65-47. Tigers trailing with 4.5 minutes, 4:50 to play. Eads fires good, and the Tigers will press. Bugus with the ball, and we got a traveling call. It'll be Tiger ball in the front court now. They'll get it on the side court. Maybe they can make a little headway on the Spartans. And Bill Harmon inbound it to Hansberger. Hansberger goes across the top of the key to Eads on the right side. Mike looks underneath, drops it to Murray on the baseline. Goes under, fakes Beard in the air, puts it up, no good. Miller rebounds, puts it up, it's good. He's fouled by Beard, I believe. Yes, it is, on Beard. That's number 3 on Beard. 4:38 left to play in the ball game. 65-50. Miller will be on the line to shoot 1. Jimmy Miller will have 1 attempt for the Tigers. He fires. It's good. 65-51 now. 4:38 left to play. As Frankie Johnson with the ball in the backcourt for Greenbrier and the Tigers double teaming. He gets it to Beard as Doug Beard dribbles to the front court with it. Gets it to Wesley. Wesley gives it to Darnell. Darnell to Bugus, and they'll start the offense. Bugus moves it top of the key with it. To the right side to Johnson. Gives it back to Bugus. And the Tigers playing a man-to-man defense. As Bugus with the ball to Johnson. Johnson looking at the baseline. They're looking for a back door to open up somewhere. As Darnell gets it back. Now they got Beard open on the back door. Puts it up, and Miller hammers him. And they call it on Stephon. They call it on Murray. That's number 3 on Stephon. And that'll put Doug Beard on the line for the Spartans to shoot 2 shots. 4:05 to play in the ball game. 65-51. As Doug Beard ready to fire for the Greenbrier Spartans, he'll shoot 2 shots. He gets the first one on the way. It's good. He'll have a second attempt.
I believe Mike Eaton is kind of talking to Doug Beard as he gets ready to shoot that ball. They have a little conversation going on backwards and forwards.
I tell you, Mike's overmatched. This Beard kid, he weighs about 250, about 6'6", 6'7". As Beard ready to fire now. He puts it up. It is good. As James DeWitt back into the ballgame for the Tigers. 67-51 as Hansberger takes it to the front court. It's knocked loose and out of bounds by Frankie Johnson. It'll be Tiger ball. As inbounds pass to Hansberger. Top of the key with it. Eads, right side. Drops it to Miller on the low post. Works on Beard. Fires good. Jimmy puts it up over him. 67-53. As the Tigers fall back, they do not press. Beard with the ball in the front court. Gives it outside to Darnell. To Bugus. Bugus starts it toward the left side. Works on DeWitt, and the Spartans want a timeout. So it's 3:41 left to play in the ball game. Greenbrier 67, Princeton 53. We'll be back with more right after this. Foul happened right down in front of us a minute ago. Stephon got called for it. And I think the only reason Stephon got called for it, he fouled him first because Jimmy sure cashed in on Stephon's foul.
I think Jimmy came up over his back, and he did get him good.
I think he got his money's worth. We got 3:41 left to play in the ball game. Tigers trailing on a miserable shooting night here at Fairleigh. But Bob, I told you earlier, I don't remember the Tigers ever really shooting good over here at this gymnasium.
Well, last year Princeton had a much better team than Greenbrier East, and they only won down here, 3 or 4 points?
Yeah, it's real close. As the Spartans come back with the ball now. Bugus with the ball in the front court against the man-to-man defense. As Bugus starts it into the lane to Beard on the left side. He'll fire over top of Harmon. Good. 69-53. Hansberger takes it to the front court for Princeton. To the left side to Eads. Almost loses it out of bounds. Throws it back into Hansberger. To the wet. Goes to the corner. Fires from 20 feet off the iron. No good. Rebound pulled down by Wesley of Greenbrier. Gets it outside to Johnson. Frankie puts it on the floor. Hansberger knocks it loose once. He picks it up. Gets it to Bugus. They go to Wesley on the baseline. Fires. No good. Rebound pulled down by Miller. Out to DeWitt. DeWitt into the front court with it. To Eads. Eads puts it into the lane. Puts the shot up. No good. Rebound. Knocked out of bounds. Knocked back inbounds by the Spartans as Johnson comes to the front court with it. Still on the move, and DeWitt comes up behind him and takes it away. DeWitt takes it to the front court for the Tigers. And DeWitt runs right over top of Frankie Johnson, I believe it was. And that's on DeWitt. That's number 5. It is on DeWitt. And they're going to put Frankie Johnson on the line to shoot. DeWitt's slow getting up. Now he gets up and moves toward the bench. Of course, DeWitt moves at ease at all times. He doesn't really look like he's too torn up about anything. Moves over to waiting for the coach to tell. Now the official tells Ralph Ball that's number 5. And we'll have to get somebody off the bench to come into the ball game, and it'll be Stephon Murray. 2:43 left to play in the ball game.
You know, we would have to, I think, probably agree, all three of us, that it's a very big, physical Greenbrier team. They have adequate quickness. They have excellent shooters in Darnell outside and in Johnson outside. This is a good ball team.
I think they're going to be reckoned with in the state. As Johnson puts up a free throw, no good. Rebound taken down by the Tigers. Eads to the front court with it to Hansberger, top of the key. Back to Eads on the right side. Firing from 20 feet off the iron, no good. Rebound pulled down by Johnson of the Spartans. Gets it over to Bugus. Bugus moves it to the front court. The Tigers head him off. He circles outside. Gives it down deep to Whitman. Gives it back outside as the Spartans spitting it out. As Bugus with the ball way out front in the corner with it now. Gets it back to Johnson. Johnson almost loses the handle on it. Puts it on the floor one time. The Tigers try to double team. He gets it to Bugus. Gets it back to Johnson. To the left side to Darnell. Cross court with it to Bugus. In the corner to Whitman. Back outside. Johnson with the ball, and it's kicked off Hansberger's foot. It'll be Greenbrier ball out of bounds, center court. And Frankie Johnson goes out of the ball game for the Spartans. Gets a big hand. Well deserved. He's played well tonight. Coming in for him is John Loban. He's the other quarterback from the football season, Bob. As Loban with the ball right now for the Spartans. He gets it over to Bugus. Bugus holds it. They almost tied him up as he gets it to Whitman. Whitman gives it to Loban, and now they get Wesley breaking high. To Bugus left side, 1:38 to play. Tigers trailing by 16. As they get it to Wesley, and he is fouled from behind by Harmon.
Yeah, commenting on the quarterback situation at Greenbrier East, both Bugus and Logan were the quarterbacks last year, but both of those individuals are seniors, so we'll surely see a new quarterback for Greenbrier East next year.
So on the free throw line for the Spartans will be David Darnell. He fires. It's good. He'll have a second attempt now. 70-53. 1:33 to play.
Princeton scored 8 points in the fourth quarter of this ball game.
As Darnell fires again, it's good. And checking in the ball game is Scotty Dolan of the Spartans. Coming out will be Bugus.
Darnell, I would imagine, is the game's leading scorer. He has 24 points in the ball game so far.
And Gillespie checks in, and Darnell checks out. To a round of applause. Hansberger takes it to the front court for the Tigers. To Harmon, firing from 20 feet, pulls it short. Rebound pulled down by Whitman of the Spartans. Gets it over to Doug Beard. To Loban. Loban in the backcourt with it. Looks for help. Gets it from Dolan. Dolan into the front court. They go to Beard loose on the baseline. Fired and Stefan corked him. Stefan called for the foul. And on Stefan, that's going to be number 4. And that'll put Beard on the free throw line to shoot 2 shots. And coming in the T-bone, that's right. Did he enter the T-bone?
Yeah.
He didn't whoop anybody for that, does he?
No.
Okay. T-bone Smith in now for the Tigers. Doug Beard on the line for the Spartans. 1:15 to play. 71-53. As Doug fires. It's good. He'll have a second attempt. And T-Bone Smith, Kevin, just became eligible second Smith. This is his first appearance for the Tigers this season. As Beard fires the second one, no good. Rebound in the middle of the Tigers. Out to Eads. Into the front court with it. 1:13 on the clock. As Eads spins. Goes to the baseline. Fires. Good. Eads hits it for the Tigers. 72-53. That should be 55. They didn't put it on the board. And the up-court pass, we got a foul called on Harmon.
Well, they still haven't put that on the scoreboard.
Well, because long ago we talked about they scored 8 points. That's right. Now they scored 10. So they need 2 more up there. It doesn't make any difference. Scorebook's the official score, though, not the scoreboard. On the free throw line for the Spartans will be Gillespie. As Gillespie fires with the right hand, it's good. (73-55). Tigers trailing. Gillespie fires. It is no good. Rebound to big Doug Beard in the lane. Puts it back up. No good. Tipped up and in. No, tipped up. No good. We got a whistle and a foul on the Spartans. That foul's on Gillespie. That's number 1 on Gillespie. Coming in will be Wooding of the Spartans.
I mean, he still haven't put those last 2 points on the scoreboard for Princeton.
And Doug Beard checks out for the Spartans.
And now he does. After the Princeton official calls the referee over, the scorekeeper puts the 2 points on the board as he comes over.
Okay. 73-55. 57 seconds to play in the ball game. Jimmy Miller on the free throw line for the Tigers to shoot a 1-on-1. And they're discussing something out there right now that they want one of the officials to come over the scorer's table. You know, when there's 18 points difference in the ball game, I really don't know what you're going to discuss that much. If it's a 1-point ball game, we want to discuss everything. 57 seconds to play in the ball game.
The scoreboard, they can call it.
73-55. Tigers trailing by 18 right now. As they've got something now. The official goes back out, and now he wants to talk to the teams. Now they're both swung over, and we got a technical foul called or something.
Might have been if somebody came in for Greenbrier East without reporting in at the official scores box.
Must have been. Now he's signaling a 1-and-1 on this shot, though. So Jimmy's shooting a 1-and-1. He fires. It's no good. Now, they're going to let him shoot a technical? Yeah, he's going to shoot a technical. Jimmy's going to shoot a technical. You're right. Somebody must have came in without checking through the scorebook. There's Jimmy on the line now to fire technical free throws. He fires. It's good. And that'll be Tiger ball at midcourt. So 57 seconds to play. 73-56. Kevin Smith will inbound it. Check out his Mike East. Bill Harmon inbounds it to Smith. And Smith to Eaves on the right side. Goes into the corner with it. Looks for help. Luke's trying to get it underneath to Harmon. Has it knocked loose and out of bounds. And we got Strader into the ball game for the Tigers. Russell Strader is into the ball game. As Eaves firing out of the corner for the Tigers now. No good. Rebound to Strader in traffic. Had to put up block. No good. Rebound comes up to the Spartans. They come out running with it. Gillespie into the front court. Goes underneath the Rose. Puts it up and in. Kenny Rose hits it for the Spartans. 75-56 is Miller in the front court with it for the Tigers now. Fires from 18 feet. No good. He is fouled. And that may be on John Lobin.
I believe it was on Jay Gillespie if it is the second.
All right. Good tell. So we'll have Jimmy Miller on the line to shoot 2 shots. As Miller fires the first one, it's good. He'll have a second attempt. 75-57. As Miller fires again, it's no good. And the Spartans come down, put the shot up. Good. Picked up and in by Scotty Dolan. And they just come over and told me that technical was an illegal number on number 34. Checked into the ballgame, Way Riding. And that foul, as the Tigers go back down the far end, we got a Hansberger foul. Anybody see who the foul was on? Kenny Rose, I believe. As Hansberger fires the free throw, and check it, it's T-Bone Smith fires the free throw, it's no good. He'll have a second attempt. He was fouled while shooting. 77-57, as Smith fires good. 77-58 now, 17 seconds to play. As the Spartans under a press from the Tigers with the ball in the back court. They get it in the front court to Gillespie. Gillespie gets it underneath to Wooding. He puts the shot up. It is no good. He is fouled by T-Bone Smith. Is that foul on T-Bone?
Yes.
It is. Okay. As the official just tells us the technical foul was not, the jersey didn't have the correct number on it. Wrong jersey, okay. So now we'll have Wooding on the free throw line for the Tigers, or for the Spartans. He fired just no good. Now what he means incorrect jersey was that he had another number listed on the scorebook than what he checked into the game with. As Wooding fires the second free throw, it's good. 9 seconds to play now. 20-point game. 78-58. Tigers trail. As Eads into the front court with it to Smith. Back to Eads. 3 seconds. Goes to the baseline. Fires. He is fouled from behind at the buzzer. And they're circling no time. But Eads, will he get the free throws or not? They say yes. They're going to let him shoot. Foul call on Wooding. So we know who won the ball game. We just haven't got the final score decided yet. It could either be 78-58. 78-59. It's 78-59 right now. If Mike Eads just steps the line and made one, and he could get the other one, we could have a 78-60 ball game. As Eads ready, he fires. It's good. Final score of the ball game. Greenbrier East 78, Princeton 60. The Tigers being defeated here tonight, seeing their record drop to 7-4 on the season. And we'll be back right after this. Final score, Greenbrier 78, Princeton Tigers 60, as the Tigers drop the record to 7-4. Tigers will be in action next Tuesday night. They go to West Virginia to take on the Mountain View Golden Knights. And what should be a real Donnybrook up there, and we'd like to have you with us. And then, of course, next Friday night, a week from last night, the Bluefield Beavers come into Princeton to do battle with the Tigers at the Princeton Gymnasium. Tigers tonight put together 4 quarters, 12 points, 15 points, 18 points, 15 points, for a total of 60 points on the night. Meanwhile, the Spartans had 16, 16, 25, and 21 for a total of 78. Final score, Greenbrier 78, Princeton 60. We'll be back with stats. First, let's pause for this. 78 to 60 as the Spartans kind of put it to them. And we have Charlie standing by with some team stats.
For Princeton tonight in the game, they only made 20 out of 74 shots for 28%. They, for a game, had 33 rebounds, committed 8 turnovers. For Greenbrier East, they made 29 out of 61 for about 50%. They had 45 rebounds, committed 15 turnovers.
Let's look at those rebounds again.
It's 45 for Greenbrier East and 33 for Princeton.
And they kind of beat us to death, didn't they?
On the board, and Princeton shot very poorly.
How many shots, total number of shots? The Tigers had
74 to 61 for Greenbrier East.
We got more shots, we just couldn't make them.
Poor selection of shots.
So, the Spartans played a good ball game tonight, Charlie. They played under control. They knew what they were doing. They never did really panic. And I forgot what the turnovers were, but it wasn't anywhere near that 21 per game they've been averaging.
No, the turnovers was 15. And they worked the boards very well. Took patient shot, good shot, used shot selection, and just warm out on the boards, I thought.
Okay, we're going to be back with all the individual stats. First, while we've got time, let's pause 30 seconds for this. The Tigers going down to the feet, 78 to 60, here at the Fairleigh, West Virginia, the Greenbrier East Gym. And Bob, what do you got on some individual stats for us?
Okay, for the Greenbrier East Spartans first, Doug Beard had 6 field goals. He was 3 of 6 at the foul line for 16 points. C.C. Wesley, who did not score in the first half, came in the second half, scored 3 field goals. He was 3 of 4 at the foul line for 9 points. Darnell came in and had 9 field goals. He was 5 of 7 at the foul line for 23 points in the ball game. Johnson had 4 field goals. He was 2 of 3 at the foul line for 10 points. Pete Bugis had 3 field goals. He was 0 of 1 at the foul line for 6 points.
Boy, that sure didn't measure his contribution tonight, though, did it?
No, because he did an excellent ball game. Now, he's quite a bit bigger guard than either St. Clair or East. He's stockier built, and you would think that maybe their quickness might be able to offset him a little bit. But he did an excellent job, very consistent, not very flashy, just came down and did a good job for them. Jay Gillespie had 2 field goals. He was 2 of 3 at the foul line for 6 points. Whitley was 1 of 3 at the foul line for 1 point. Whitman was 2 of 5 at the foul line for 2 points. And other scores for them were Rose with 1 bucket for 2 points, and Dolan with 1 bucket for 2 points. For Princeton, Jimmy Miller had 5 field goals on the night. He was 14 of 16 at the foul line for 24 points. Mike Eads had 6 field goals. He was 4 of 4 at the foul line for 16 points. St. Clair had 2 field goals for 4 points. Harmon had 2 field goals, both coming in the third quarter for 4 points. James DeWitt, who fouled out of the ball game, had 4 field goals, 0 for 1 at the foul line for 8 points. Stephon Murray was 1 of 2 at the foul line for 1 point. And Kevin Smith was 1 of 2 at the foul line for 1 point. And I believe that Hansberger was 1 of 2 at the foul line for 1 point.
I think you're right.
Giving Princeton 20 field goals, and they were 20 of 27 at the foul line for the final total of 60 points. So Princeton came down tonight and played an excellent Greenbrier team. They have depth, they have size, they have adequate quickness, and they play excellent defense. So Princeton played a very good basketball team tonight, And in the last game of the season, they will play this same Greenbrier East team at Princeton, and I would hope that everyone from Princeton who can would come out for that game. The next game that Princeton has will be Tuesday night at Mount View to play another very big, very physical ball club. And then Friday night, a week from last night, there will be a game in Princeton that will see Princeton play the Bluefield Beavers in Princeton, and we hope everybody would come out to that game.
Okay, final score tonight. The Greenbrier Spartans 78, the Princeton Tigers 60, as the Tigers record dropped to 7-4 on the year, as they could never get it going. Outshot, outplayed, outfought on the boards, and the Tigers go home a loser. I'm Glenn May, speaking on behalf of Charlie and Bob, saying we appreciate the fact that you've allowed us to be a part of your evening.